could be causing cervical dizziness or cervicogenic dizziness, also known as cervical vertigo, and some tips for relief. So, if you are an executive mom, that is a mom of younger kids who's working in a high stress executive jobs, dizziness is the last thing that you want to tackle in your everyday, already busy schedule. So, when dizziness happens, it could be from your sleeping posture. There could be many reasons for cervicogenic dizziness, but the basic concept of cervicogenic dizziness is that the nerves that are present in the upper to mid cervical spine, that is from your hairline to about the middle of your neck, on either sides of on either or both sides of the neck, when these nerves are getting irritated or pinched, you can get a dizziness, which basically, because it originates from your cervical spine, is known as a cervicogenic or a cervical vertigo or dizziness. Now, let's talk about how your sleeping posture could actually influence your cervicogenic dizziness, and how you can, what are the problems you can face with these sleeping postures, and how you can tackle them. So, these are simple, actionable, everyday tips that you can start to implement right now. So, before we get into these tips, let me introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their neck, that is their spinal, that is neck, back, and nerve and joint pain. And I do all of this by giving you simple exercises, easy lifestyle modifications, some tips, tricks, and hacks that have worked for me in my own journey with spinal and neck pain and nerve pain. And I do all of this without taking away a big chunk of your time because, hey, we're moms, we're busy people, right? So let's get into the three ways in which your sleeping posture can give rise to cervicogenic dizziness or cervical vertigo, and some tips for relief. So, the very first sleeping posture to consider is if you are sleeping on your stomach. Now, this, if you've heard me talking about sleep postures anytime in the past, you know that this is something that I always recommend, that you change your sleeping posture from stomach sleeping to either side lying or sleeping on your back, because when you're sleeping on your stomach, your neck is turned to either side, well, either left or right. And in this position, when you're sleeping for that 6, 8, whatever number of hours you're sleeping at night, your neck is stretched out on one side and compressed on the other side. There are chances that your nerves will get irritated, especially if you have any pre existing problems in your cervical spine. This could be anything from a simple muscle spasm to a disc bulge to degeneration, stenosis, etc. Or if you have not had these issues in the past, but you are sleeping on your stomach with your neck turned to one side through those hours at night, it is bound to gradually give rise to some or the other problems in your neck, which can potentially irritate or compress those nerves that we spoke about in the upper to mid cervical spine, and thus give rise to cervicogenic dizziness. So, what do you do about it? That was the problem. Let's look at the solution now. So, when it comes to sleeping on your stomach, as I said, it is advisable to change your sleeping posture to either back sleeping or side sleeping, because these are postures in which you can manage to keep your cervical spine in a neutral or a more happier position. And that I will address a little later for side and back sleeping. But how do you transition into these positions? So, this is easier said than done. I have done this myself, and it took me months and months to do this, not just weeks. I have done a full video on how to transition your sleep posture from stomach sleeping to side or back sleeping. I have written a blog on the same topic, on the tips for relief from these three ways of sleeping posture giving rise to dizziness. I will leave a link to that blog in the description of this video. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link is in my bio, or you can DM me or message me for the link. In that blog, I have included the video that takes you step by step on how to transition your sleep posture. Now, let's get in. I'm not addressing it here because otherwise the video will be too long for you. So, and of course, if you're interested in other videos on sleep posture or neck pain, dizziness, I have done a couple of videos on these topics, and these are on my YouTube channel. You can go on YouTube and search Swati Prakash, that's my name, followed by sleep posture or neck pain, and these videos will come up for you. All right, so the second thing is if you are one of those who sleeps on your side. Now, side sleeping, usually the problem areas with side sleeping is people will sleep in a very fetal position. So that's basically bent over like this, so all rounded up like this. When that happens, do you see how my neck is quite squished from the front and my shoulders are shrugged up? Obviously, if you continue in this posture throughout the night, again, you're bound to have neck pain or problems with your neck. Also, there are people who sleep with their hands under their head or their hand above their head like this. So there are all kinds of postures that people, poor postures that people sleep in. If you are a side sleeper, let's look at the solution now. Use a pillow, and the thickness of that pillow should be such that your neck remains in a neutral posture. So the thickness of the pillow should be from the tip of your shoulder here to your earlobe. Now, when my pillow is this thick, what happens is, okay, my mattress is here, as in my tip of my shoulder is on the mattress, and my pillow is thick enough to reach my earlobes. Now, with this, my head is in a neutral position. Sorry, my neck is in a neutral position, so my head is not tilted to one side or the other. If my pillow is too thick, it'll push my head away, and if my pillow is, say, too thin, my neck will get tilted again. So in this scenario where your height of the pillow is from the tip of your shoulder to your earlobe here, your neck is going to stay in a neutral position. So make sure that your pillow is customized to your body type, because every single person is different. You will need a pillow that supports your neck in a neutral position. Now, what does this do? Okay, let's talk about what if your pillow is too thin or too thick. If it's too thick, of course, there's again going to be a stretch on one side and a compression on the other side. If it's too thin, then the other way around. And then the nerves in the upper to mid cervical spine will tend to uh, get irritated, and again giving rise to that cervicogenic dizziness. Again, I've done a detailed video on how these nerves actually lead to cervicogenic dizziness. Again, you can go to my YouTube and have a look. There's a recent video that I had done on this. All right, thank you.
This is more important, I know.
That's what happens when you're a mom doing a video, when kids are on school holiday. All right, going back. So, if I am a back sleeper, this is the third scenario we're considering. So if I'm a back sleeper, this is the back of my head. Sorry, this is the back of my head, and this is my upper back here. If you actually see, there is a little bit of a difference in that height from my back of my head to my upper back here. This should be the height of your pillow. This is not as big a distance as from the tip of your shoulder to your earlobe. However, this is a thinner pillow. Now, if you do not use a pillow when you're sleeping on your back, your head tends to roll back. Compressing these structures in your cervical spine may lead to irritation of the nerves, again giving rise to cervicogenic dizziness. And of course, there's a stretch in the front, so there's like a muscular imbalance around your neck, and that can lead to other issues as well. Um, Now, if your pillow is too thick, your neck is going to get pushed forwards like this. This is known as a forward head posture. Again, I've done a couple of videos on this, but forward head posture is also one of the reasons why you can get cervicogenic dizziness, because when your head is sitting forwards in relation to your body, it is natural for you to round and shrug your shoulders. It is natural for there to be a muscle tension around your cervical spine. Again, irritation of the nerves, and then that leads to cervicogenic dizziness. So the same pattern follows through. So have a pillow that covers the thickness, the distance between the thickness of the pillow should cover the distance between the back of your head and your upper back here. So that was the three scenarios, sleeping postures or the sleeping scenarios that I wanted to want you to consider today. See what your sleeping posture is like and how can you modify it, and then see if that makes a difference to your cervicogenic dizziness. Again, as I mentioned before, the blog that I have written on the same topic has got a couple more, it's got a freebie, couple more things in there. It's got a freebie that talks about proper sleep postures. It talks about how inflammation is the basic cause of your neck pain and cervicogenic dizziness and how you can manage that. There are quite a few things in that blog that you might want to read if you suffer from cervicogenic dizziness. The link to that blog will be in the description of this video. If you're watching me on Instagram, it's in my bio. You can DM me for the link and I'll send it to you. Alrighty, if you have any questions, any comments on the video today, do let me know and I'll address them for you. I'll see you guys next time.